Namaste. Welcome to Wise Our Career Guide. Today we have Mr. Shaurya with us, who is working in the Supreme Court as a lawyer for the UP government. Let's hear from him his story and what are the other roles and responsibilities that he has. Welcome, Shaurya.
Thank you very much, Neha ma'am. It's really pleasure being here, first of all, and thank you very much for inviting me. I saw the videos of the channel. It's quite intriguing. It's quite wonderful
Thank
that you are
you.
spreading the awareness. And particularly speaking about our profession, people are not very much aware of
Of what are the
advocacy, of
options?
litigation, of counseling, litigation. What are the options available once you complete
Absolutely.
your degree in law? So,
Right.
yeah, and I did my LLB from the National Law University, Ranchi. So there are national law
Okay.
universities in the country.
Right.
There is an
Okay.
exam called Common Law Entrance Test. You get
Okay.
into those NLUs, National Law Universities, when you clear your CLAT examination. So it's like any other
Okay.
entrance exam like IITG and all. So you
Right.
don't need a science as a background for that. But yes,
Mm-hmm.
for the mathematics, you have to know, especially it's very common to know the mathematics till what you learn till the class 10th. So it's very
Okay.
important. And this is a similar aptitude test that you have to qualify to get into an NLU. So somehow, with the grace of God, I got that exam
I'm
cleared.
sure there was a lot of
Right.
hard work as well.
There was a lot of hard work indeed. I did 1 month coaching for that. So there are various
Okay.
coaching centers who get you prepared for such kinds of examinations as well.
Sorry, just to interrupt you here, how is this, entrance and this law college different from your regular BA LLB course that is there?
So there are just like Indian Institute of Technologies, Indian Institute of Managements. There are national law universities across the country, and the consortium of that national law university conducts a test. It's called Common Law Admission Test. So national law universities, they make you pursue your 5-year law LLB. First of all, it's not just LLB; it's BA LLB or BBA LLB according to the courses offered by these colleges. The major first difference is that it's a 5 years integrated course where you get to do your bachelor's in arts and or bachelor's in commerce along with LLB. So when you do regular LLB, it's mostly 3 years. So you first graduate for 3 years and then you have to do LLB for 3 years again. So this is the major difference that saves 1 year, one crucial year of your life.
Right.
So yeah, that's the concept behind it.
So, is there any advantage or disadvantage in terms of taking it with arts or taking it with commerce?
It depends upon the background, first of all. If you had a commerce background, if you're very well versed with that, you may consider BBA, BCom, LLB. First of all, BCom, LLB, BCom allow to understand and grasp the BCom subject. And it also has a benefit when he can also appear for the CA and CS examinations along with his bachelor's in law degree as well. So there comes the importance of BCom LLB. That's why it's very important. It helps you clear the CA examinations, which are often very tough to clear.
Right. So, you've done it with arts or with commerce?
I have done it with arts.
You've done it with arts.
Yeah, my economics is very poor. I'm so sorry. So I gave up. I did my, in fact, I did my 12th higher education from commerce, but I could not pursue it further. Also, my college did not have that option of BCom LLB as well. Right.
Okay. So, after your graduation of 5 years, your first law job was where and what was the experience like?
Actually, my first job was not after 5 years of my college. When I was pursuing my graduation, I started my own startup. So there was this website, beingyourlawyer.com, and in my I think I was in my 4th year of the college. That was. I registered one limited liability partnership firm along with my fellow, and we started a little startup in a very small place. So we used to resolve consumer complaints there through tweets, through sending them dispute resolution notices and all. So yeah, so it was not a job. I did not get any job after college. So it was a running process for me. So after that, when I completed my graduation, I still wanted to pursue my startup. I did not want to pursue litigation. I did not want to pursue what I'm doing right now. Let me tell that very honestly. But when you get into the profession, when you get into the zone, when you get into the process, you get to know many other things, uh, various other avenues that were not visible to you when you were in the college. So I dropped the idea of that startup and I started my serious litigation. But it did help me. It did help me to land into my first job. And what we used to do in that startup is that we used to resolve consumer disputes. Consumer disputes, it was as small as your TV set, you have purchased a TV set, it's not working, and the consumer service is not responding pretty well, to the real estate disputes. So that real estate dispute intrigued me a lot. That real estate disputes made me have my own clients when I graduated from the college myself.
Oh, wow.
Right. And then through, I made some networks, I made some connections. I joined a firm later on after 4 or 5 months of my college. And I started practicing there as their real estate attorney. So there's a special authority, there's a special forum where the disputes of real estate takes place. It's called RERA, Real Estate Regulatory Authority. So I started my practice there as a junior associate, and within months, the partners were impressed with me, and they made me the junior partner of that firm. So that gave me a major boost. Yeah, major boost to my career and my confidence as well, especially regarding to the real estate practice that we have.
So, even before your first job, you had started your litigation career.
Right.
How was it? How was the experience or the feeling of going into the court for the first time and presenting your case?
It was absolutely well. It was startling experience, and to be very honest, I was very afraid. I was very scared. And my one of my seniors, he was accompanying me, and my legs were shaking, and he literally pushed me in front of the judge. So that was my first experience, and that experience, it was not a very regular court. That was a consumer court, consumer forum, national NCDRC, we call it, National Consumer Dispute Resolution Commission of India. So yeah, that was my first experience, but I learned a lot gradually. That was a smaller forum, and then from there to Supreme Court. Now I go with pretty much of ease.
So, how did this, job with UP government and working in the Supreme Court happen?
Yeah, it happened. It was a time of COVID when I applied for the council for the state of UP, and they somehow admitted me, and along with my CV as well. I was doing pretty good as a junior partner, and then I left that job as well. I wanted to practice independently. I wanted to have my own client base, and I had my own client base actually. People were looking into me. People, I was offered better jobs, to be very honest, when I was working there independently as well. Many builders, real estate groups have had approached me, and I started consulting them as well. So you going to as a counsel for the UP before the Supreme Court, I think that might have struck them well. So when I started my practice before the Supreme Court, it was again the time of COVID, and there were virtual hearings. Then there were virtual hearings going on. So that was a good time. Virtual hearings are absolutely different from being physically present at the court. That I got to know very recently when the courts started to function in a physical manner again. So it was a very good, good learning experience for me. First, I learned from my mistakes from the virtual mode, and when the physical mode happened, I was quite good.
Okay. So, Shaurya, tell us, is there a different set of qualifications or exams that you need to clear to be practicing in Supreme Court? How do you reach there as a lawyer?
As a lawyer, first of all, you have to clear one examination. This is very crucial for every law aspirant to know. Only like qualifying your BA LLB exam does not make you a lawyer, does not make you an advocate, first of all. There's a difference between a lawyer and an advocate. Lawyer is a broader term, advocate is the one who practices in the court, lawyer is the one who gives legal advice and other advices, transactional advices to the corporations, people, and anyone. So there's an examination that's All India Bar examination that happens every year. I think twice a year, if I'm not wrong. So you have to clear that first of all. So that you get the certificate of practice after that, and after that you are eligible to practice anywhere across the country, in in any court you want, in any forum you want, you can go there. Which you have to get signed one wakalat nama, we still call it wakalat nama, the GPA, the paper of representation, you can say that. So after qualifying that AIBE examination, you can definitely practice anywhere across the country, even in the Supreme Court. But for the Supreme Court, there is one criteria. To file anything before the Supreme Court, you have to be the advocate on record. So the criteria for being an advocate on record, there's a separate examination for that. That is conducted by the Supreme Court as well. Okay. So you have you have to have a practice of 5 years before the Supreme Court, and then you are eligible to give that exam. So I graduated in 2018, and I am still running in my fifth year of my career. So I still have to give that exam to file anything before the Supreme Court. So filing is different, and representing yourself before the Supreme Court is different. So I can represent, but I cannot file right now. So for filing, there is a criteria, there is an examination, separate examination for being an advocate on record. But for representing, you just need to qualify that AIB examination, or you have to have that provisional ID card from the bar council, that of any state.
Okay. So, is jobs with governments as a lawyer easy to get, or what is the process like?
Jobs for the government?
Yes.
Sorry.
The way you are currently representing UP government in the court, those, I'm sure every state has that, and even for the government there would be different set of lawyers for different segment that they have of the cases that they have. So those kind of jobs, are they like your normal government jobs, or is there a separate process criteria?
No, they are they're not like any other normal government job from 10 to 5. It's like you are being hired to represent a certain set of cases. Okay. We do not get to have, we do not have, I do not represent UP, state of UP or government of UP in every matter before the Supreme Court. It's not possible. So even they need someone. Government of UP, it's not always government of UP. It's the state of UP, first of all. So, as if you have heard this word called prosecutor, right? The one who prosecutes when you commit a crime, state prosecutes you. Right. State runs a case against you. Correct. So, they need someone to represent themselves in front of the court, and they are us. And now, regarding the qualification, I think there is a very good chance if you have a very good CV, and if you have a little inclination towards that particular set of government, if you are working for that government, it's not very important, but you must have a little political knowledge as well. You have to have a signed political knowledge, and that has to be represented in your CV.
Okay.
Right.
You are, doing another, profile work apart from this. What is that? Tell us about it, please.
Profile work like NCLT, I was telling you.
Yes.
Are you asking about that?
Yes.
Yes, it's again like out of the government advocates, they have, I don't know how they randomly picked 20 or 25 advocates to represent them in before the this National Company Law Tribunal and National Company Law Appellate Tribunal. So what they does is that uh, the any winding up of the company when the company becomes insolvent or bankrupt, the winding up of the company, uh, they help you clearing off the liabilities of the company. So that happens before the NCLT and NCLAT. So sometimes what happens is that any company, any corporation, they get insolvent, they get bankrupt, and did not pay the taxes due to the government. So my job is to facilitate those taxes when the winding of process was going on. So I had to present there, be present myself there to to get those taxes out of by selling the assets of those corporations. And what we get after selling those assets, we clear off the liabilities. So after selling off the assets, we clear off the taxes of the government. So this is my job there in a nutshell.
So, two very different, segments and, totally different worlds, if I were to say, these two profiles that you're, currently handling. Which one is more interesting and, more adrenaline pumping, I should say, because, after a certain number of years, there tends to be a monotony that sets in into any job. And with law, repeating those same things again and again, I guess it would be more.
And if you talk about this company law segment, bankruptcy and insolvency, if I may talk about this, I have done my specialization in corporate law. So for the whole complete 2 years of my law school, I have only studied subjects related to the company law and the financial institutions and everything. So that was a part that caters my academic skills. That my academic skills help me to cater that job, if you may say that. And if you talk about the other segment, that's mostly criminal law that I'm participating into. Criminal law really excites me. The adrenaline rush you are talking about. It's the criminal law actually. So I always loved the murder mysteries since my childhood, and now I see it on the court's pages. So it's quite fascinating for me. So I like to do criminal law as well.
Okay. So, Shona, what are the kind of opportunities that are available for, youngsters in terms of getting into, criminal law to start with? Because I understand that requires a lot of understanding and experience to be able to, give your arguments in a convincing manner. So, do freshers get to, be part of big cases?
They initially should be a part of the case, but they should not take the responsibility or the liability of being the whole. That's what I feel. According to my capability, they should not be the stakeholder in that particular big matter. So they, if any bad thing happened to that particular matter, it really shatters your confidence. So, in my opinion, any fresher should, uh, according to his or her preference or interest in the field of law, he or she should join a good senior, first of all.
Okay.
Senior acts as your, again, a teacher who teaches you the practicality of the aspects that you have been taught in the college. And there is a stark difference between both of them. But I have realized one thing, this is my observation, that there are medical colleges, so any medical college is surrounded, the medical college is surrounded by a medical hospital as well. So what they do, that what you study on that day, you in the daylight you study, and in the evening after the sunset you go there and intern with a senior lawyer. You get to see the practicality of the aspect that you have studied. But in law colleges we do not see that often. We do not see that often. This is a good thing that we should do. there should be mandatory internships for the students, so that these questions should be dealt before going to the practical, to the professional world, I may say.
Right. So, Shaurya, what is that one tip that you would give to the freshers who are thinking of getting into, law as a career, for them to be able to, succeed in this field?
First of all, this tip, even I have gotten many tips, and I must say that as a law student, we don't take it very seriously. And if I say this, and many of the law aspirants and law students must be watching this, they won't take it seriously. But after your college ends, I, life is tough.
Right.
So when your college ends, so be prepared for that. First of all, do not have very high expectations if you are coming to the litigation. First of all, you have just like you have learned in your college, you have to learn it again, you have to relearn in a different way. So do not have unnecessarily big expectations if you want to grow. No, if you want to have a satisfactory job, if you are aiming for that, like what happens when we are in college, when we are final year of the college, we aim for just for placements and all, just we just have to get settled somewhere. But once you get settled somewhere, then what? You have to work like 10-12 hours a day, sometimes 14 hours, 16 hours a day. So you have to be prepared for that, and you should know what you are signing up for. First of all, you should not have complaints about your job, about the work you are doing. So if you don't like it, don't pursue law. But if you are into it, then you have made your choices. And in any field you go, I believe that this is the age we are in. It's the age of hustling. We should not run away from it.
Yeah.
And we should not have very high expectations from the life just after graduating from the college. It's tough. It will get tough. Yeah, the higher you climb the mountain, the more treacherous it becomes. So this is so you just have to be prepared to climb the mountain.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing the insights and so much of information with us. It was really great talking to you.
Thank you so much, Frank. Thank you so much, ma'am. This is the first time someone is asking me these questions. So even I have introspected it a lot. I have never thought about these things. So thank you very much for having me here. I hope I made myself clear. And if not clear, I mean, I am absolutely approachable to the people. They may take my advices. They can learn from my learnings, and I may learn from theirs as well.
Sure. Thank you so much, Shaurya. So that was Mr. Shaurya sharing with us his experience of, his journey into becoming an advocate and not just a lawyer. I don't know about you, but I had heard the terms that there are these two different terms, but what actually it entails in terms of the technical difference is something that I am learning now, and I'm sure a lot of kids who are thinking and planning to pursue law as a degree would benefit from understanding the difference, the advantages and disadvantages of both the options that are there. Being a lawyer or being an advocate both have their own career progresses and paths. So you need to decide which one do you want to take. And what he said about these national colleges having 5 years of integrated course which help you save a year, of your graduation, because here you get 5 years of your BCom with LLB or BA with LLB instead of doing a BCom separate or a BA separate and then 3 years of LLB, is something that should help a lot of people. As he said towards the end, that he is open to taking any questions that you might have regarding this field or the various kinds of examinations that are there. So do write below in the comments if you have any queries that you want answered. Also do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you.